I built the most expensive and probably jankiest burn deck that I've ever made, and today we're going to take it out for a spin and see how it works. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Live, and today we're playing the most expensive and probably jankiest burn deck that I've ever built, and I am super excited for this deck. I got no idea if this deck's gonna win or lose, but I do think it's gonna do some really funny things. So let's talk about our deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So our deck today is inspired by a single card, which is Duskmourn's Claim. If you don't know Duskmourn's Claim, it's a 3-mana enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, 2 target players, so in a 1v1 game, it's just gonna be us and our opponent, each reveal the top card of their library. They each lose life equal to the mana value of their opponent's cards, and then the cards go to hand. So essentially, Duskmourn's Claim is a card that burns our opponent and also us, but based on the mana value of the top card in our deck. And this got me thinking, could we build an entire burn deck based around burning our opponent by mana value rather than with traditional burn spells like a lightning bolt or a lava spike or whatever? And the answer is actually yes. There's quite a few cards that sort of work like Duskmourn's Claim. This whole pile of cards here, those are our burn spells, and they are super janky, and you probably don't even think of them like burn, but that is the plan of our deck. So here are our burn spells in our deck. We have Duskmourn's Claim that we talked about, Caustic Bronco. If we can saddle it, it attacks, reveal the top card of our library. Our opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If we attack when it's unsaddled, we lose the life, so it's super risky in our deck because we got a lot of expensive stuff in this deck. Ninja Blades. When the equipped creature deals combat damage, we get to draw a card, discard a card, and then our opponent loses life equal to the discarded card's mana value. Sin Prodder. This one's a little sketchy because our opponent can play around it, but the beginning of our upkeep, we reveal the top card of our library. Our opponent can put it in our graveyard. If they do, they take damage equal to its mana value, or they put it in our hand. So if it's something really expensive, we probably draw a card, but still, a 3-drop 3/2 menace that draws us a card every turn, also not bad. Eureka, when a ninja deals combat damage, reveal the top card of our library. Our opponent's live life equal to the mana value. Palantir Vornthink, one of my favorite cards in the deck. At the beginning of our end step, we put a counter on it in Scry 2, and then our opponent can either have us draw a card or mill cards equal to the number of counters on it, and then they lose life equal to the mana value of the milled card. So a lot of times, when there's like 1 counter or 2 counters, our opponent's probably going to have us mill and maybe take some damage because they're not going to know their deck is full of these super expensive cards. But then when there's a bunch of counters, it draws us a card each turn. Hidetsugu Devouring Chaos. For 3 mana, can exile the top card of our library, deal damage equal to its mana value to any target. Riddle of Lightning, one of the funniest cards in this deck. 5 mana instant. You choose a target, you scry 3, you reveal the top card of your library, it deals damage equal to its mana value to the permanent player that we chose. So if we can scry into a 15 drop, it's 5 mana, deal 15 damage. Hidetsugu and Carry. When it enters, we brainstorm. When it dies, we get to exile the top card of our library. Our opponent loses life equal to its mana value. Chomping Mastosaur. When it enters, we get to discard a card and then seek a non-land card, and we deal damage equal to the mana value of the card we discarded. Combustible Gearhulk. For 6 mana, when it enters, we get to either draw 3 cards or we mill 3 cards. If our opponent chooses to have us mill the cards, they take damage equal to the mana value. So we have all these cards that deal damage equal to the mana value, and then we also just have a really expensive deck. That is our trick for breaking all these cards. The average mana value in our deck is close to 3.5, even including all the lands in the deck, because we're playing 15 drops like Shadow Mortality. We have 12 drops like Volcanic Salvo and Cauldron of Eternity. One of the ways that we can cheat on this is we can play cards that have really high mana values, but we can actually cast earlier in the game. Like, Rooms are really good at this because their mana value is their combined mana value, but we can cast either side on the cheap. We also have some blue cards that are really good for this. Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise, thanks to Delve. We have Mirror Shell Crab, which we can counter something for 3 mana, but it costs 7 mana. We have Commandeer, which is 7 mana, but we cast it for free. And these cards actually led to the commanders we're playing for the deck. So once I decided to build the Duskmourn's Claim deck, I was pretty set on using Vial Smasher as the commander, because Vial Smasher kind of works with the theme of the deck. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, a random opponent, which is always going to be our one opponent, takes damage equal to the mana value. So this was just another way that we could burn our opponent by playing really expensive things. But then I realized we needed the blue card so we could play all these big delve spells. So I was like, well, perfect. Vile Smasher has partner, so we can play Kroom as a partner, mostly just to get the blue mana in there, although occasionally it's 4 hasty damage in there. So we kind of look like a CDH deck with our partner pairing, but we definitely don't play like a CDH deck. And that's essentially the plan of the deck. The rest of the deck, we get some removal, some ramp. I guess the other important cards, we have 3 cards that directly let us control the top card of our deck. We have Insatiable Avarice, which for 3 mana lets us just Vampire Tutor and put a card on the top of our deck. We have Scheming Symmetry, which for 1 mana lets each player tutor and put a card on the top of their deck. And we got Liliana Vest, which -2 ability, tutor a card, put it on the top of our deck. So these cards, once we get a Duskmourn's Claim, or a Ninja Blade, or a Eureka, or a Palantir, one of our burn spells going, we can use these to get our most expensive card, like a Shadow Immortality on the top of our deck. So we know we're going to hit it with a Duskmourn's Claim and 15 our opponent. But essentially, that is the plan of the deck. We are trusting in the magic gods. We are playing these really weird, super chaotic bird spells, and we're just going to cross our fingers and trust that making the most expensive burn deck ever can actually get us some wins. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's jump into some games and see if we can make this plan actually work. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is time for the most expensive and probably jankiest burn deck that I have ever built, and this hand, okay. I mean, we get a Combustible Gearhulk, one of our better janky expensive burn plans. We get a Hitasugu, maybe not one of our better janky expensive burn plans, but it is part of that plan. A little bit of ramp. I think this hand's fine. Up against Catilda, eh? So I imagine our opponent doing human things. Well, we will lead on, I guess, just Bloodstained Mire, and we're going to pass and pretentiously crack our fetch land to get a Surveillant end step. It's kind of funny. I don't know, like, how much information we give away by actually just cracking a main phase, especially in a format where you have a commander, because our opponent already knows our colors. Like, I guess we give away the information whether we keep the card on top or mill it, which I guess can be relevant. It is some amount of information, but I feel like the amount of information you actually give away just main phase cracking a fetch is one of those technically correct things, but mathematically, it is hard for me to imagine that actually is going to shift much. Well, let's get a Steam Vents on tap, get down the Iron Crag. Ship the turn. I mean, this gets us to Hitasugu or Big Score next turn. I love Combustible Gearhulk. It's such a fun card. Just like Combustible Gearhulk makes things happen. Like something fun is gonna happen. It's an interesting decision point. But I'm not gonna get down like Catilda. Are we going to station the planet, opponent? I mean, you might as well, right? Unless you're gonna trade Catilda with a hasty something. Not do anything else with it. Yeah, Combustible Gearhulk. I have loved Combustible Gearhulk ever since it was printed. It's just like, it creates such a fun moment. And I don't think opponents are going to know how risky it is to actually mill the 3 cards against our deck, because our mana values are so incredibly high. That's kind of the whole point of the deck, right? The classic Brawl player move of passing with the rope. Just not actually passing the turn and just waiting for Arena to do it for you. The laziest and most obnoxious way to play Arena. Times out and passes the turn. We draw a Unholy Annex. Well, let's crack the Burn Catacombs. I think we're just gonna play. Yeah, let's keep shocking. I think we're just gonna play Hitasugu. Hitasugu's pretty fun. So for 3 mana, no, we're not gonna. Man, Iron Crag's actually kind of obnoxious. It's worth playing because there's not that many 2 mana rocks on Arena, but it is annoying that it's always asking you if you want to turn it into an equipment, and you almost never want to turn it into an equipment. Hitasugu for 3 mana. Ooh, Flowering of the White Tree. Little ward, little pumping. For 3 mana, exiles the top card of our library. We can play it for the turn and deal damage equal to its mana value. So if we get lucky, it can be like 3 mana deal 15. Mindstone, eh? Well, I think we just got a big score for a land. Let's just pitch this Villainous Wrath. And yeah, play the Swamp. So it's 3 to activate Hitasugu. Yeah, let's just leave it up. We're not going to be able to cast the card that we exile with it anyway. I don't think we cash in our treasures to activate it during our opponent's turn, but we could. We could do it and just try to get some damage out of it. It gets better next turn. Yeah, maybe we should have just attacked with it. Yeah, all right, opponent, Heliod's Punishment. Well, now we're definitely not activating Hidetsugu for a few turns. No abilities, except tapping to remove a counter from Heliod's Punishment. Well, hopefully our opponent's dead before we can use Hidetsugu again. We will see. I mean, we can just cast Combustible next turn. Opponent, Bounty Agent. All right. Blows up legendary things. Well, let's tap this Hidetsugu. Get rid of one of the counters. Opponent has returned. Gets a Bounty Agent. Well, let's see. Guardian Idol. All right. I mean, I think we're just gonna Combustible Gear Hulk and see what happens. Scaldy Tard, Kraget, Mountain, and I think the time has come. The time has come. Combustible Gear Hulk. Opponent, do we draw 3 or do you mill 3 and take damage equal to the mana value, which could be a lot of damage in our deck if we're lucky. The choice is yours, opponent. The choice is yours. Oh, God. We 22'd him. Oh, we almost got the one shot. The one shot Gearhulk kill. Mindbender Flesh Gorger. That is... Well, not quite the absolute dream, because it is possible we could just straight up win with a Gearhulk, but that is about as good as it gets. 22 to the face. And now, so our opponent has this Bounty Agent. Opponent has this Bounty Agent that can blow up a legend. Otherwise, we could just win with Crom. It's kind of funny, this deck. I want to play Vial Smasher. Oh, now we do just win with Crom, I think. Opponent makes a bunch of tokens, sure. I wanted Vial Smasher because it works with the janky big mana burn plan. Then I wanted blue mana for the Delve spell. So I was like, well, we might as well play Crom as a partner. So we get access to like Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise because they work really well with the plan of the deck. And then I realized like Crom, just like having a hasty 4/4 flyer in your command zone is kind of nice. Like this game, now that our opponent tapped the Bounty Agent, which they really shouldn't have tapped the Bounty Agent, now we just get to play the Crom and hit him for 4. Like that 4 damage actually is very relevant here. Kind of funny though that it really is it's a Gearhulk win. Like, yes, the Crom is going to get in the last 4 points of damage most likely, but I mean, I guess he could have like Solitude or some opponent is going to do it again. Wow. Opponent passed most of their turns with the rope. Well, tap the Hidetsugu. We draw a Strip Mine. Well, let's just end it. Crom with haste from the no Iron Crag. Stop it. Well, hit you for 4 in the air and just Combustible Gearhulk things. It is time. Ooh, a tally. I mean, I guess it's fine. If they're a tally, they probably got Mana Dorks. Damnation can blow them up. Blood-Soaked Insight, I don't think we ever actually are going to cast. It's just a land that has mana value of 7 for synergies. I know it looks kind of awkward to keep a Shadow Immortality. You might be thinking, well, why don't you just mulligan it, right? You got this 15 drop in your opening hand. The thing is, that's our deck. Like, the whole point of the deck is to have the highest mana value possible. So yes, we could mulligan away the Shadow Immortality. But we'd mulligan into, most likely, another 10 drop, something else that is equally uncastable in our opening hand, so I think we just keep it. A tally is actually very scary. Like, a tally is just a very good card in general, but it is especially scary when the whole theme of your deck is play the highest mana value stuff possible, because that means we got a lot of 8 drops and 7 drops and 15 drops that that the Atali can spin into for free. So if our opponent gets to Atali, it is going to be a little bit frightening. I think that stands it's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep it. Well, it's not like thrilling. There's no big burn spell in hand. I guess Vial Smasher, Shadow Mortality combo. Only need 18 mana. And we got him. 15 to the face. Hello. Hello to you, opponent. Hello. Opponent going to lead on a Skirk Prospector. Okay. That's a way you can ramp into a tally. Well, commit is not the worst. That is actually a way we can at least temporarily slow down the Atali. Let's just play Xander's Lounge. Go. And commit also. Mana value 10. Opponent. Ooh, a little hasty Atali, eh? Arena Glory. Gonna get in and hit us down to 24. So are they like a Goblin Atali deck? Why Prospector? Or I guess if you're Atali, maybe you just want like any single thing that adds mana, like any single way to get a tally down quicker. I can't imagine us actually casting this MDFC. Like 7 mana for Blood Soaked Insight's just so much. Let's just play tap land. So our question is going to be, do we run out assuming we don't draw anything better, do we run out Vial Smasher? Do we run out Vial Smasher even though we have the Damnation in hand and might want to just wrath the board? I guess it's going to depend on what our opponent does. Man, arena players and roping. All right, opponent untaps automatically. Well, let's see. Maybe our opponent left. There's a dog pet you can get? Huh. I might have to get the dog pet. Too bad it doesn't look like Bear. You know what I want is customizable pets. If I could upload like a picture of Bear and get it as a pet on Arena, I would pay money for that. That would be sweet. Maybe our opponent has actually left the game. I guess that is actually possible, that they actually have just quit and we didn't realize it. Opponent is back on the rope. If they don't do anything this turn, they are in trouble. Like, if they time out again, they are definitely... Opponent passes the turn. Okay, well, let's play the land, and I guess in that case, if our opponent is just literally not going to do anything, we'll run out of Vial Smasher. Wait, now they're Was it a trick? Was it a trick? Was it the fake timeout to get us to play? Oh, that would be so next level. Do you think our opponent was strategically roping to get us to play our commander so they could bolt it? If that's what our opponent's doing, that's actually kind of genius. Still annoying, but kind of genius. Bound it. Gonna cash in the Goblin. Invasion of Zendikar. Wrap up to 5 mana. And a Mox Opal, which is a ways away from doing anything, thankfully. So they can't tally next turn, right? Unless they somehow made 2 free artifacts and a land. All right, so we should have one more turn. I mean, this mana drain's also gonna potentially be pretty good eventually. Well, let's play the land. Let's just get down. Yeah, let's... Oh, they could play something else, but we're going to Solemn. They shouldn't be able to tally this turn. They could play something else big, but... The next turn, we probably have to leave up some sort of interaction for a tally, assuming they hit their land drops here. Because we really can't let the tally just come down on time. That would be bad. All right, that's a good card. 1 ring, sure. And opponent going to draw with 1 ring. All right. I'll play the land, and... I guess we just crack it. So what do we do now? Let's grab a swamp and, well, just how we drew it up. Chart Foyer. Let's get some impulse draw going. Boom. Take 0 from our Solemn. You got to send the message when you get the chance. All right, so our opponent, land. 1, 2, 3. Ragavan. Gonna dash it. Well, good news is they shouldn't hit anything too helpful from our deck because it is full of very unhelpful cards. Ragavan. Oh, Palantir. That's actually a helpful card. Oh, all right, that's awkward. Opponent not going to Palantir, though. Going to play a Burgee. Sure. I don't think we counter Burgee. I mean, they have a ring going, too, so we have to deal with the Itali, and then... They probably are going to draw into things scarier than a Burgee here. Well, that's impulse draw. All right, a land. That is fine. And another land. Not as fine. Opponent's at 21. They have a ring going. Like, there is a downside to the ring. It's not usually enough to make up for its insane power level, but our opponent is taking some damage. Let's get down the Vial Smasher. So opponent's going to draw with the ring. So if they play a tally... We definitely just mana drain it. Opponent land. I mean, you gotta do it, right? All right, there's the Itali. Make some mana with Burgee. I mean, we cannot let it resolve. So, mana drain Itali. Hit you for 2. So opponent goes, wait, do we win? Wait a minute. Opponent has 1 mana available. The ring hits him for 2. We just get to cast the... We can just cast the Shadow Mortality... Found in Bloom Tender. Gonna make back a mana. We can just cast the Shadow of Mortality, hit you for 15, Ragavan. Found it. Gonna make back a mana. I think we just win here, though, with the ring. Because of the Vial Smash, your opponent gonna get in. We don't really need to attack, right? Yeah, let's just block the Burgee. No reason to let them get some free mana from the invasion. Yes, please. More lands. I did not really have hard casting Shadow Mortality on our list for today, but Mana Drain can make a bunch of mana. Shadow Mortality costs 11. Technically, its mana value is 15. Vial Smasher, 15 to the face down to 2, and then, I mean, that just does it, right? Our opponent just dies to the ring. No attacks past the turn. One Ring says... Dead. Okay, well, Shed Immortality. Better than a tally. You heard it here first. We are playing... Ooh, Nicol Bolas. The Dragon God. The most expensive burn deck ever. I think. At least that I've ever made. This hand's not, like, super exciting, but... Castle of Vantress is cute once we get our synergy set up. A good way we can scry things to the top, which is pretty relevant with, like, Dustmourne Scorn and whatnot. Yeah, we'll try it. We'll give it a go. One of the nice things about having... Actually, it doesn't even work with this mana since we have so many mono blue sources, but it is nice to have a 3-mana and a 5-mana commander. Okay, Bajuka Bog. Let's just Flooded Strand. We can get... Oh, we can't get black-red, unfortunately. We had to get more blue. So I guess we get blue-red, get a Thundering Falls, and... Yeah, we're going to mill that Scheming Symmetry. It is not the time for that. Opponent. Shivan Reef. And... Talisman of Dominance. Well, play on the island and get down a Cold Steel Heart on black. Opponent. More Talisman. That means Nicol Bolas can come down next turn. That might be a problem. Baleful Strix, draw a card. If our opponent actually just... If they actually play Nicol Bolas next turn, we are in a very, very scary spot. Yeah, let's play Bogart Trawler untapped. I think we get down the Flesh Gorger. This is a way if they have Nicol Bolas, they either have to take down, kill it, take the ward, or we can pressure it through this Baleful Strix. That's the thinking anyway. So our opponent just needs an untapped land, essentially. Man, I really don't want to face down turn through Nicol Bolas. All right, opponent's just going to Baleful Mastery. Get rid of the Strix. All right, well, that means we're not getting hit by Nicol Bolas yet. So that's something, opponent. Going to stay on defense. Well, okay. Scampering Surveyor. Let's keep on ramping. I mean, the Strix is actually very good for our opponent. Crom with haste is pretty good at pressuring Planeswalkers. Much less good when... Yeah, we're just going to play the Bajuka Bog. They don't really look like a graveyard deck. Might as well get the tap land out of hand. Like, Crom is very good at pressuring Planeswalkers. Not as good with the Baleful Strix on the battlefield where they're going to ritual it out. All right, Dark Ritual. And Nicol Bolas, the Dragon God. All right, well, opponent going to take up. We will get rid of an island. And opponent's going to... Oh, no, that's not good. We really wanted that Treasure Cruise. Duress is a Treasure Cruise. When Holy Annex is kind of good. So we can't do both modes. So we can Crom attack. I guess we just have to attack the Nicol Bolas, right? The good news is they still don't have a lot of mana, so if we can get rid of it. So we can Vile Smasher and Holy Annex. Yeah, let's do that. Vile Smasher and Holy Annex. Sadly, we don't get damage the first turn because we already cast Vile Smasher as spell number 1. Get in at the Nicol Bolas. So if our opponent trades off the Strix, now at least Crom can actually hit Nicol Bolas next turn. And we're drawing an extra card to make up for the card that Nicol Bolas is drawing to some extent. Well, get rid of the land. Opponent takes up Nikki B. All right, Urborg and Sheoldred. Well, there goes Vile Smasher. Back to the command zone with ya. Ooh, Distended Mindbender. So we can play Crom, hit Nicol Bolas, and then emerge the Mindbender off of it, maybe? Well, hit Nicol Bolas down to 1, and... Yeah, Distended Mindbender, sack the Crom, because we can always haste it back in again next turn, right? So, opponent, let's see what you got going on. Handful of counters and removal. So we can get 1 card 3 or less, 1 greater. So I guess we go... Oh, no, it's... Yeah, so we have to take Damnation, so we can take one of the other cards. I guess we just go Tail's End. The negate doesn't stop our Crom. Neither does Kolaghan's Command. So hopefully, opponent gonna take up. Yeah, we'll lose the land. So hopefully this Crom can get rid of the Nicol Bolas. And then once we get rid of the Nicol Bolas, then we got a shot. Although I wonder, man, there could be some argument to just like going face. Oh no. Oh boy, 6-mana Chandra. That is not good. Well, now we get emblemed. All right, they're going to kill the Mindbender. So we don't get emblemed yet. Opponent hits us to 13. We draw even more lands. Well, oh, there's the Crom. Let's kill the Nicobolas, I think. This is a tough spot. The Chandra's still good. And they can replay the Nicobolas. Well, play the land. Draw with Annex. Villainous Wrath, eh? Opponent, land. Actually, we have enough mana we can... If they kill the Crom, we can cast it again. The problem we're going to run into, are these emblems. Opponent double uptick, so now we have 2 emblems. We can't stop the Shieldred, so we drop to 7. I mean, we can make the Demon with the Unholy Annex to... All right. Well, we got to make the Demon, because we don't want to lose more life to this. And then I guess we just Meat Locker to stop the Shieldred. Unfortunately, we can't kill the Nicobolas, but we can get rid of the Chandra. But we still have... All right, so we gain life this time. Undercity Sewer is not exactly what we wanted. I don't know. So we're taking 2 a turn for sure. And there's that Kolaghan's Command, which is 2. We really need the Demon to live. If the Demon dies and we start getting burnt by the Unholy Annex, and they could just take down the Nicobolas and kill it. Yeah, we might be in trouble. Those emblems. We just never... I wonder, man, I feel like we had to go after the Planeswalkers, but with how this game played out, maybe there was an argument for just ignoring Nicobolas and just, like, hasting Crom at face and just trying to kill our opponent and, like, okay, you're going to draw a card every turn, we're going to exile something every turn. Maybe that was actually the right strategy. Maybe we should have not worried about it so much. Opponent, Kolaghan's Command, we will discard the land. Getting back the Baleful Strix is actually very annoying, because the Baleful Strix can block either of our creatures. It does take our Crom. All right, Blood-Soaked Insight. Just what we were looking for. I mean, we can draw with Meat Locker. Oh, no. And a Go for the Throat. That's not great. And opponent going to kill the Crom again. Well, back to the command zone with you. Crom's up to 9 mana, and it cannot get through this Baleful Strix. I actually think the Baleful Strix has been kind of the card of the game in a weird way. Ooh, Fel the Profane. So I can kill Nicobolas, but I mean, I guess they can't recast it yet. They need a land. But if they have a land, they can just recast it again. Well, Dig Through Time is very good with Vial Smasher. So we kill the Nicobolas, but they land and replay it. We kill the Baleful Strix. Then we can attack next turn, maybe. Opponent's at 15, so we're not super close to, like, killing them. Yeah, I guess we just Meat Locker and see what we can see. Big Score Damnation, Dig Through Time. Yeah, actually, let's pitch the Big Score. And then cast the Damnation. I mean, in theory, this keeps us alive. We go to 3. Charred Foyer. I mean, we have ways to deal 15 damage. There is a 15 drop in the deck. So if we can hit like Dustmorn Scorn or something, Riddle of Lightning, basically we got a one-shot kill. We got to do it this turn because we're going to die to the emblems next turn. Opponent passes. We drop to 1. Actually, we die in our end step to the Unholy Annex if we don't top deck something. Ping and pinged. Oh, there's the 15, but we got no way to turn it into damage. We can dig through time. And see if we can hit something. See if we can hit something to convert that Shadow Mortality. Like, that is exactly enough. We're going to have to get super lucky. All right, dig through time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really matter. All right. Show us maybe Monstrosaur. Oh, okay, Notion Thief, sure. We're not drawing cards, so that's fine. I mean, we're dead anyway if we don't find something. Ooh, combustible, but then... oh, man, there's a Riddle of Lightning, but we have our 15 in hand. So we can't actually... oh, if we had a creature on the battlefield, the Ninja Blades would theoretically do it. Combustible won't do it here, because you obviously just let us draw... yeah, Riddle of Lightning. But I don't think it's possible. Yeah, Fel the Profane, it just doesn't matter. See if they use their negate to save their Nicobolas. And then we can cast the Riddle of Lightning, but I don't think there's another 15. Yep, those are not 15s. I'm pretty sure that Shadow's only one. Well, let's see what's on top. It's Bloodstained Mire. And we died in Holy Annex. Well, turns out, Chandra Emblems, Nicole Bolas. Pretty good. Pretty good cards. It is, ooh, what are we? Oh, Bane. Okay. We're playing the jankiest and most ooh, we have our Dustmourn's Claim. We actually have Dustmourn's Claim. We're playing the jankiest burn deck of all time. Most expensive burn deck that I've ever made. Let's just get this Mystic Sanctuary out of hand. Well, we finally found a Dustmourn's Claim, which is kind of the card that made me want to build this deck. Let's see if it's any good. Well, let's play the tapped MDFC, pass the turn. So opponent's going to be mono red Spellslinger, I assume. Opponent going to run out main. Well, play the land, and I think we just kill the commander first. As much as we want the Dustmourn's Claim, that thing can kind of pop off. Like, making a mana whenever you cast a spell and having it carry over is a really scary ability. Oh, opponent. Next turn, hopefully we can get down Dustmourn's Claim and then see what happens. Opponent Electrostatic blasts our face. Now to 23. Sure. Well, we're going to do what we came here to do. Dustmourn's Claim. Play the land, go to Rend Step. Everybody reveals. Okay, we hit a Flesh Gorge. Your opponent hits a 1-drop. That's a win for us. 7 damage from the first one. Ooh, opponent Blood Moon. All right, opponent is not playing fair, but that's okay because we have a Dustmourn's Claim. All of our lands may be mountains. Well, I guess we have one island now, but most of our lands may be mountains. But that doesn't matter because Dustmourn's Claim hopefully can win us this game. Well, let's get down the Palantir. Dustmourn's Claim. Okay. Yes, we will take the crab for 7. Palantir. Do a little scrying. Opponent mills down to 4. Okay. They always mill the first one. Are they passing? I mean, okay, all we need. Oh man, I wish we had black mana. All we need is to play our Crom though, and maybe not as exciting as letting the Magic Gods decide with Dustmourn's Claim, but that was pretty impressive. Dustmourn's Claim dealt, what, 15 damage across 2 turns, and Palantir chipped in? We'll take it. The most expensive burn deck time in this hand. Okay, we got a little card draw, got a little ramp. Don't actually have any actual burn in hand. Well, Watery Grave go. Up against Rankle, Master of Pranks, so mono black discard, mono black sacrifice, mono black fairies. Oh god, Dark Ritual into what? Oh, okay. Okay. Dark Ritual's out Inquisition. That's fine. Gonna take our Arcane Signet and Nether. Okay. That is. Well, opponent played a bunch of 1-drops, but they technically only have 2 power on the battlefield, so we're kind of okay with that. As far as Dark Ritual turns go, Inquisition, Nethergoyf, Scavenger's Talent, we can deal with that. I actually would have been way more scared. Altar of Dementia for our opponent. I would have been way more scared if our opponent just waited and Volcanic Salvo, eh? Well, that's a minute away. We also still don't have red mana. Let's get down this Unholy Annex. See if we can draw our way into some red mana. I almost wonder if our opponent should have waited and just ritualed out the, like, just played whatever, a Nethergoyf or something, or the discard, and then ritualed out Rankle. But I guess playing 3 1-drops on turn 1 is kind of intoxicating. How do you pass up the opportunity? But I would be more scared by the Rankle. Opponent gonna level up the Scavenger's Talent. Sure. Gets in with the Goyf down to 19. How about some red mana? Villainous Wrath. Well, play the Strip Mine, and yeah, I mean, I guess we just meat locker the Nethergoyf. Yeah, we're not gonna Strip Mine. I know we could try to Strip Mine and keep our opponent off Rankle, but I don't think we're actually going to do that. Let's just Meat Locker. Tap down the Goyf. Meat Locker has actually not felt that bad. Like, it's in the deck because it's incredibly expensive, but the, like, 2 stun counters is actually kind of reasonable. It does slow something down for multiple turns, which is good. Found it. Land. And Raider's Wake. Okay. So when we discard, we got to take damage. Well, there's red mana finally. Oh, that does make the big score worse. I think we just need to unlock the Ritual Chamber. This gives us a big blocker that can actually stop the Rankle. Like, as long as we don't get hit by the Rankle. Plus, we don't lose life to the Unholy Annex. Why the Altar of Dementia? Like, the discard stuff makes sense to me. But what is the sacrifice? Oh, God. Oh, boy. Dark deal. Okay. Well, that's going to hurt. Raider's Wake's going to trigger about 1,000,000 times. We are going to lose our hand. Drop to 7. Yes, it's not looking great. Well, I think we Ninja Blades. We can actually... Wait, how much damage can we deal here? We can actually deal an insane amount of damage. Hang on a second. Let's grab an island. Yeah, we can't play the Monster Store yet. We can play the... Actually, maybe we just ramp. Yeah, let's get down the All Fate Scroll. Let's wait a turn. Actually, you know what? Let's get down the Ninja. Let's get down the Ninja Blades. We're not going to equip it to the Demon, though. We're not going to equip it to the Demon yet. We're just going to stay on defense, because I really don't want to get hit by Rankle. Ninja Blades is so sweet in this deck, though. We have the Cauldron in hand to discard even. Pona Ancient too. Here comes the Rankle, but we got the blocker, so we're not going to take the... Wow, they're just going to get in. Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to block the Rankle for sure, and then I guess we block the Goyf too, because we kind of want to put the Ninja Blades on the Demon anyway. Pona's at 21. How much can we actually deal? Pona gonna sack. Grow the Goyf. Yeah, that Rankle... Rankle, I don't know about the Rankle attack sacrifice plan. Pound it, Mills. So they're trying to mill themselves. The Goyf's up to 6 power. All right, well, let's see how much damage we can actually deal here. We have to discard. Get rid of the Bronco. We take 2 down to 6. Well, let's just 1-2. They can't crack their food because, well... They could do it now. All right, let's Ninja Blades. Ninja Blades on the Demon. Let's see how this goes. I didn't actually add up all the damage. So we get in for 7. Hit you for 7. Opponent goes down to 14. Discard the Cauldron. Hit you for 12. We take 2. Wait, they're dead. I think our opponent's dead. Run out the Sin Prodder. Our opponent didn't sack the food. Now they're at 2. We have the Unholy Annex. We have the Demon. Our opponent can't sack the food because it's Ancient Tomb. So if they tap the Ancient Tomb, they die before the food gets sacked. And we got... Wow. Wow. Opponent was at what? 21 going into this turn? Ninja Blades. Cauldron of Souls. Well, I bet we could have killed him last turn, actually, if we actually did the math. That was super impressive. Oh, God. Galta Primal Hunger. Okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, we have the Dustmourn's Claim, which is my favorite card in the deck by far. So we're going to keep this, although a little scary. They do have a Galta, which I imagine means they're just playing big green things. That's usually what Galta does. Well, let's play the fetch, pass the turn. About it. Do we have a Mana Dork? Answer is no. We have a Love-Struck Beast token. Well, let's crack the Marsh Flats. Snag us a Undercity Sewers. Yeah, get rid of the Eureka. Doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get in against this deck. They're going to have a lot of bodies. We're probably going to have to find... Well, either... There's 2 plans. One is get lucky with Dustmourn's Claim, which is always our primary plan. Plan B, if that doesn't work, find a Wrath. Well, let's get the Raccoon Theater. Yeah, we'll keep the Shipwreck Marsh. We do want our lands. All right, so opponent, in Search of Greatness, they can put things into play from their hand if their mana value's 1 more than their most expensive thing. Yeah, I think we gotta just play the Dustmourn's Claim. The downside is it gives our opponent a card, but they can play around the Planeteer. They can't play around Dustmourn's Claim. Well, Null Drifter's not bad. Opponent gets a land, we get a Null Drifter. Opponent goes down to 18. Maybe there's a way. I mean, right now, they get a Scry. Nothing goes into play. They only have a 1/1 in play. We might be okay here. Here comes a Love-Struck Beast. Sure. Come on, Dustmourn's Claim. We gotta stay lucky. Well, all right. We draw a 7-drop land. So Twilight Prophet doesn't come on. I think we... Can we afford to ramp here? We can't play Vile Smash. Yeah, let's play Vile Smasher. This sets us up for some damage next turn. Dustmourn's Claim. Ugh. All right. Land and land. Well, we didn't take any damage, which is good. But our opponent didn't take any damage, which is bad. They can put a 4-drop into play. Yikes. For free. Oh, God. This is going to go real bad real quick. Well, that's a problem. Now our opponent has enough mana, or enough power that they can play golf. no, and a great henge. And they can play the Galta still? Oh god, yeah. Okay, so we need to win the game this turn somehow, and that's going to be tricky. We're going to have to get really lucky with Duskmourn's Claim. Opponent hits us down to 16. Well, okay, so all we can do is play a land. We can run out the Crom, hit you for 5, attack you for 4, down to 11, and then we need an 11 drop. An 11 plus drop on the top of our deck with the Duskmourn's Claim. Hit you to 11. NSAP Duskmourn's Claim says, oh, so close. Oh, we got 7. But now we're just actually dead to Galta. Man, almost. Well, that's the fun of Duskmourn's Claim. This hand, ooh, we got Ninja Blades. Ninja Blades has actually kind of impressed me. I think Ninja Blades might actually be a real card. At least in Brawl. Opponent gonna lead on Arena of the Ancients. Oh no, that means Hasty Infamous Cruel Claw. Speaking of decks that have high roll potential and Swiftfoot Boots. I mean, Infamous Cruel Claw, we do not have a way to kill it, so our opponent can just hit us. And yeah, this could be really bad. Infamous Cruel Claw with haste hits us. Gonna reveal until they hit okay, reanimate. So that doesn't do anything. So that's fine. We survived the first one. Unfortunately, it even has Menace, so it's not like we can even just play a chump blocker. Infamous Cruel Claw is actually kind of good. Let's get a Steam Vents. Untapped. I guess it's either Ninja Blades or Fable. Ninja Blades try to race, I guess. We kind of need our opponent to low roll with the Cruel Claw again, though. If they get to put some big blocker into play, then we can't even get in with the Ninja Blades, and it's going to be really, really tricky. Opponent gets and hits us down to 16. Infamous Cruel Claw spins into a Grief. Okay. I mean, it could be worse. Grief is still pretty good. Discards an Ulamog. All right. Well, opponent definitely got big stuff in their deck. That is for sure. Actually, maybe we should be playing Infamous Cruel Claw in this deck. That actually, it's not really a burn spell, but it does kind of fit with the big thing theme. I might actually add a copy. I could see playing Infamous Cruel Claw in this deck. Found it. Bloodstained Mire and Das Boots on Das Weasel. And, gonna pass. I guess we attack. See if our opponent lets us do the thing. Come on, we let you hit us with your Weasel a bunch of times. Opponent gonna block. All right. I mean, I think that was probably wise of our opponent. Let's play the Fable the Mirror Breaker. We could have tried to leave back 2 blockers and double block the Infamous Cruel Claw. Pretty risky though, because then if they have a removal spell, then they still get in with Infamous Cruel Claw, and we didn't get rid of the Grief. We didn't do anything. Now play the Tabland Bastard. So I think that's the best line with them having so many cards in hand, but that would have been another plan. Opponent gonna get in with the Cruel Claw. Well, we can't stop it. How bad is it this time? Ooh, Bowl Assisted. Okay, pretty bad. Although, this might tempt our opponent to get low enough on life that maybe we can somehow get them with a janky burn spell. Well, what's on top of the deck? Opponent can play things off the top of the deck for life with the Bowl Assisted. Citadel, and it's a Valgavoth on the top of their deck. Okay. Well, that's a problem. Okay, opponent kind of ran a little bad with their first Cruel Claws, but this one was kind of insane. Bolus the Citadel into free Valgavoth, into land drop off the top of the deck. Hopefully that's the end of it. Ulamog, the Defiler. It was not the end of it. What a turn for our opponent. I mean, we still have Duskmourn's Claim in the deck, looks like. And a Magmatic Hellkite. Alright, well, I mean, we need to draw... Do we still have Duskmourn's Claim? Riddle Lightning's still there, but we can't cast it. We do have the Duskmourn's Claim. I mean, in theory, there is an out to this. Our opponent has went all the way down to 5 life. We can't get him with a Job Select, with the Ninja Blades, or that would win us the game. We do have the Fable, so we can filter. We basically have to hit Duskmourn's Claim or something similar, and then get lucky with the Duskmourn's Claim. I'll pitch the Opus. Unfortunately, we can't hit a Sugu and Kiri. They go under the Valgavoth. Ugh. Yeah. Well, that was a impressive bit of running from Infamous Cruel Claw. Good lord. Time for some more of the most expensive burn deck I've ever built. Up against Kettermouse. Ooh, this hand we have Riddle of Lightning. Okay. Riddle of Lightning's Riddle of Lightning's such a funny card. Like, its ceiling is incredible. It's literally deal 15 ceiling, which is insane. Its floor is 5 mana scry 3, though, which is whatever the opposite of insane is. Well, I guess would be sane, but people don't say it that way. No one says, oh, that was a very sane play. Let's get a Surveil land. Keep the Cold Steel Heart. We also have Combustible Gear Hulk, which is good. Well, play the Mountain. Get down Cold Steel Heart on blue and pass. So I imagine our opponent's going to have a bunch of exile-based stuff. Like, that's kind of the gimmick of Ketramos, right? Exile as much as possible. All right, going to blow up our Mana Rock? Sure. Sure. I see how it is. Bjorn. Well, let's play land. Crack the Misty. I guess we just get down. Well, yeah, let's play Fable. We could get down Vial Smasher. Yeah, let's get down Vial Smasher. This makes our opponent either kill the Vial Smasher or play Ketramos. If they decide to play Ketramos, then we at least get some damage out of the Vial Smasher before they inevitably kill it, because that's what their deck does. Opponent Arcane Signet, sure. And Journey to Nowhere. All right, so opponent's going to get rid of the Vial Smasher for now. We are going to put it back in the command zone. Volcanic Salvo, eh? Well, Fable the Mirror Breaker. And Pluto Delta. And Crack. I mean, we might be able to play Combustible next turn. Maybe. Let's get the Undercity Source. Yeah. Actually, how many islands? 2. Yeah, not enough. To the graveyard. Mystic Sanctuary is really nice to fetch up in the late game, but it's not naturally going to be on early. Opponent Ketramos. Well, cannot currently attack or block. Let's get rid of the Salvo. And actually, we'll keep the Castle Vantrance. Let's get rid of the fetch. Reliquary Tower, Shadow Immortality. Well, get in with the Goblin. Hit ya. Play the land, and I mean, we got to do it. Combustible Gear Hulk. The choice is yours, opponent. I mean, we got 22 damage earlier. Our opponent could die. They're at 20. They could die if they choose wrong here. They could. Come on. Mill him. Ugh, okay. Well, at least we got the Elder Deep Fiend at that. So we get 9, which is still, I mean, 6 mana, 6/6 ETB deal 9. I'd sign up for that. That's still pretty good. Opponent down to 11, which means, in theory, Riddle of Lightning, if we're lucky, could actually win us the game. Opponent. Fell the Profane to take down the Combustible Gear Hulk. And passes. We draw a Flesh Gorger. Well, let's flip the Fable. I mean, do we just fire off Riddle of Lightning and hope we hit a 9-drop? We could. Well, hit him with a Goblin and let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think we just pass, and if they crack the fetch. All right. Riddle of Lightning, show us an 8-drop. Okay, those are all way too cheap. Come on, Riddle of Lightning. What is it? Oh, Iron Crag. All right, 5 mana, scry 3 to the bottom, 2 damage. Well, that is the fun of Riddle of Lightning. You never know. It would have been nice if there was something a little more expensive in our top 4 cards, but all right, opponent. Graveyard Trespasser. All right, you're gonna start triggering their Ketramos. You're gonna exile a card, you're gonna draw a card, you're gonna lose life, you're gonna gain a life. Stays at 6. And oh, okay. Now we can't activate Clarion Conqueror. Now we can't activate our Fable of the Mirror Breaker, and we draw a very sad Iron Crag. Well, let's play the Crom and attack them, I guess. They can chump with the dragon, but then that turns on the Fable? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the plan. Wow, they go to 2. Okay. That seems a little risky. Their Ketramos is still not on, so they can't attack and gain life. They need to get a bunch more cards in. Oh, okay. Bogart Trawler. Gonna exile the graveyard. That's gonna turn on the Ketramos. Opponent goes to 1. Oh, now they can gain back 4? That's awkward. Okay. We might actually kind of... Oh, wait. Arch Enemy's Charm. Oh, they're gonna die. Oh, they exiled. They had to attack first. Okay, well, when your Riddle of Lightning fails, trust that your opponent will kill themselves with Ketramos. We don't have any big burn, but I mean, I guess Eureka. Eureka's one of our burn cards. So is Twilight Prophet, but we got to get 10 permanent, so it's not going to be burned for a while. Opponent leads on a Surveil land. Well, let's play the land, pass the turn. Y'shtola, eh? So drain and casting somewhat expensive spells. Well, let's crack the Vern Catacombs. Snag us a Raccoon Theater, do a wee bit of surveilling. We'll keep Strip Mine. We're not really a Strip Mine deck, but I feel like Strip Mine is just such a strong card that you should play it in basically every Brawl deck. I might say literally every Brawl deck. It is hard for me to, all right, well, there goes our Yuffie. Swords to Plowshares. It's hard for me to think of a Brawl deck that I would not want to play Strip Mine in. Even 5-color, I would play Strip Mine. Opponent plays the land passes. Man, Mystic Sanctuary, and I think we just pass. We could run out Vial Smasher, but this would be the turn they could play their commander. And I think counter your commander, untap, then play our commander that's a pretty strong line. If our opponent pass, all right, there's Y'shtola. Well, we will counter Y'shtola. So many people just run their commander out into open mana. It's kind of, I mean, I guess I might do it too infrequently. Like, it's possible I should be more aggressive, but I think a lot of people, like, why do you think your opponent's leaving up the mana? Like, why were we not playing anything? It seems likely our plan was to deal with your commander. And people, they play right into it. Opponent, Bajukabog. Gonna exile the graveyard, sure. We still need a few more permanents to turn on Twilight Prophet. Well, play the land, and I guess we just try to draw some cards with Lorien revealed. All right. Well, there's our best friend, Riddle of Lightning. Also Duskmourn's Claim, though. Duskmourn's Claim can do some work. Someone's gonna die. I don't know if it's us or our opponent, but Duskmourn's Claim does make things happen. Opponent can play a land and replay Y'shtola if they want to. Wow, they're just gonna pass. It's probably correct to Strip Mine them, but I don't really want to. I kind of want the mana here. Get in, hit ya. Down to 12. Man, we could Strip Mine them off blue. Ah, it's so tempting. It's so tempting. I think we're just gonna play Duskmourn's Claim. We're just gonna play it. Play the Duskmourn's Claim. See if it resolves. Okay, so we get down the Duskmourn's Claim. And then I guess we just do a little surveillance. See if we can put something expensive on top with Discovery. Show us some. Ooh, okay. Wait, no. So we're going to draw one of them. So draw the tap land, reveal the Unholy Annex. That's pretty good. Well, play the tap land. We know Duskmourn's Claim is going to deal 8 here, which is not bad. Opponent. Confounding Riddle going to do. Wow. Could they have not countered? I guess they want the land for Y'shtola more than they want to counter Duskmourn's Claim. Well, all right, opponent, you take 8. We take 0. We're so close to turning on. We need one more permanent, I think, to turn on Twilight Prophet. So we should be able to turn it on next turn. Sheoldred. Okay. Good card. Opponent pass. Thankfully, we're at 25, so we're not super close to dying. Well, play the Monastery. We can tap down the Sheoldred. I guess we should actually Strip Mine, because they could be leaving up Mana Drain. Let's hit the blue-black source. No, don't look at that Duskmourn's Claim. We need that. You can kill the Twilight Prophet if you want. The downside of this is... All right, they're going to Psych Rift the Duskmourn's Claim. The downside is it does mean we aren't going to turn on this Twilight Prophet this turn. The upside is we get to resolve things. Hit you for 2. I mean, we could just randomly have an 11 on the top of our deck. That is possible. And then we'll play... So get down the Duskmourn's Claim. Get down the Mirror Room. Copy of the Twilight Prophet. And pass turn. If we open up the Panharmonicon side of the Mirror Room, we get double Duskmourn's Claim, which is kind of hilarious. We might actually just do that to say that we did. And we have the City's Blessing. So if these Twilight Prophets live... Oh, all right. Well, at least the shoulder is gone. Opponent Day of Judgment wraps everything. So we lose the Prophets, but we can open up Fractured Realm. I think it's worth it. Open it up. All right. Well, let's see what happens. We're at 14. Our opponent's at 13. 2 Duskmourn's Claim triggers incoming. We get a Surveillance. Can we find something big? 2 Surveillance. Okay, we'll keep the Mindbender. That's 8. So what's the second card down? First one, you take 8. We take... Ooh, 7. Okay, and then Mana Rock, ouch. Wow. Okay, opponent's at 3, we're at 4 when that's all said and done. So we all lost almost as much as our opponent. Oh, this is going to be close. Thankfully, they can't use Sholta and Spell, or they could potentially burn us out. Found it. Realizing Duskmourn's claim. Ooh, gonna blow it up. I mean, we have the Crom, though. We also have the Riddle of Lightning, which is more entertaining. They could kill the Crom, but they can't kill the Riddle of Lightning. We're gonna Riddle of Lightning. Come on, Magic Gods. All we need is something that costs 3 or... Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. 3 or more. 3 or more. 3 or more. Come on. Oh, Fel the Profane. Oh, we almost were betrayed by the Riddle of Lightning. Almost. We could have played the Crom, but then the removal was turned on. Well, we got there. I mean, I hate mulliganing, so I think we're going to try it, but this was close to being a mulligan. This was close. We do have 3 lands. It doesn't look like it, but the MDFCs mean we do have 3 lands. We're up against Sauron, the Grixis Mirror. So let's just lead on tapped MDFC. Go. MDFCs are so... man, I love MDFCs. Not only are MDFCs, like, great for new players who just don't like mana screw, right? It's a way you can get more lands in your deck, but they've opened up so many weird synergies. Like in our deck, we're playing MDFCs that we never really intend to cast, and they kind of suck as lands because they enter tapped, but they're good in our deck just because they're high mana value, and that's kind of the whole gimmick of our deck. So we play these high mana value MDFCs, which are lands that like can trigger our stuff, can trigger our Vial Smasher, our Duskmourn's claim, Scorn, whatever, like all that kind of stuff about it. So you get a lot of interesting synergies out of MDFCs that just didn't really exist before MDFCs. Bonnet land, and I'm just gonna pass. Well, okay. How do we want to do this? Let's just play the land, get down Chromatic Lantern. Would be nice if it resolved. So Scheming Symmetry is a card that we do not ever really want to cast until we are comboing with it in some way, or unless we're just super desperate and about to die. But typically, because our opponent's going to get the card first, just firing it off fairly as a tutor does not go especially well. Are we going to play Vial Smash? Is it worth it to run out a commander into open mana against Grixis is a question. Let's play the untap land, and we're just going to play Crom. We're going to see if we can smash in for 4. I guess that's another upside of having 2 commanders, is even if one gets dealt with, the other one's still, all right, opponent's got Shielder Edict. Yep. Back to the command zone with you. Even if you deal with one, the other one still doesn't get the command tags, which is a nice little bonus. This Villainous Well is probably going to be helpful at some point. Well, let's play the Cold Steel Heart. I don't know if it really matters at this point. As long as the Chromatic Lantern sticks, it doesn't really matter. Let's just say black. I guess we could get to the point of casting Seagate Restoration would be interesting. I guess we Vial Smasher. Vial Smasher into Seagate next turn would be sweet. See if our opponent, they could very well have more removal. Like, I imagine Sauron Grixis is playing a lot of removal. It's got to be like a Crim deck, right? It's got to be a Crim deck. About it. Untaps. And. All right. Yeah. Sweltering Suns gets rid of the Vial Smasher. While our commanders are getting expensive, opponent passes. We gotta go for it. If they have a counter... Yeah, you know what? Let's play Crom first. I actually think this is better. Let's get down Crom. The other nice thing having these commanders we can play is it lets us hold cards in hand for the Seagate Rest. Whoa! Well, that's a mana drain. I guess I would rather have Crom mana drain than Seagate Restoration. It's slightly less mana, but this is pretty bad anyway. Opponent gonna untap with 10 mana this turn, maybe 11. I imagine that means Sauron's coming down. I mean, you gotta do it, right? We're tapped out. Darksteel Ingot, sure. And there's the Sauron. Well, opponent passes. Shadow Mortality. Huh. So Sauron, when he casts something, they get an army and it has a super busted ward. Now, I think we try the Seagate. You get to make your dork. They do have blue mana because of the Darksteel Ingot, so a counter is still possible. All right. So we're good. We get to draw a bunch of cards. Ooh, we find a mana drain that we can't cast yet, but let's Bajukaba, get rid of your graveyard. So I guess we're just taking our beats this turn. The Palantir's nice. I mean, we can answer the board once at least with Villainous Wrath. I guess next turn we can Villainous Wrath and have up mana drain. That seems pretty reasonable. That should let us get rid of the board. Slow down the Sauron a bit. Found it hits us to 14. Being tempted by the ring. Man, the Lord of the Rings set was really cool. That is such a cool set. I hope the Hobbit is like, even like half as good. 75% is good. Ooh, double strike spider thing. But like, if Hobbit's even close to as good as Spider-Man, it should be a really good set. Well, let's see if we can Wrath the board. Villainous Wrath. Yes, you make an army. That is fine. If they try to counter, we are going to counter back because we really need to not take this hit. All right. Villainous Wrath resolves. Get down the Palantir, and we can still have up. Yeah, I guess we manually tap. We can get down the Palantir and still have mana drain up if they Sauron. So get down Palantir. One thing about Palantir is everyone mills the first time. So we really want to find a high mana value card for the first activation, because that's the one that almost always... I don't want to get rid of these, though. As I was saying that we want to have an expensive card. I think Insatiable Avarice is just so good we got to keep it. Like, wow, okay. Our opponent did not chance it. I think that's the first opponent that just let us draw the first time. Normally, every time the opponent lets you draw the first time, some opponents let you draw the first 2 times, and then after that, or no, wait, I'm saying it backwards. Usually the first 1 time, your opponent always mills. The second time, sometimes, and 3 onward, you always draw. So I was definitely expecting the opponent to mill there, but I guess it worked out. We got the Insatiable Avarice that wasn't going to deal much damage anyway. So the opponent just did literally nothing. If we Scheming Symmetry, they definitely are not going to mill to the Palantir. Get down a Vial Smasher for the future. Play the Fable. We still have access to mana drain. And then next turn, we might be able to deal a ton of damage. Like, Vial Smasher or Shadow Mortality is a huge amount of damage. Well, Palantir. So, well, if they let us draw last time, we're definitely drawing this time. So I think we just treat Palantir as scry 2 and we're going to draw the top card, because there is no way they're milling if they milled. If they didn't mill the first one. Bottom. Give us a... What? Our opponent decides to mill this time. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Decides to mill. So they let us draw with 1, and then opponent's gonna Damnation, blow up the board, sure. So they let us draw the first time when we were milling 1, and then they chose to mill the second time when it's 2, and they take 12? I don't know. I thought I had it all figured out, but apparently I very much do not have it figured out. Well, we get to discard to this Fable. So I guess we get rid of Cauldron and a land. Ooh, Hitasugu, eh? Hitasugu's interesting. Now what? Yeah, let's just draw with Insatiable Avarice. Not gonna tutor. We also have no max hand size, so drawing is even better. I mean, drawing's always good, but not having to discard is nice. Ooh, Dig Through Time. And an Elder Deep Fiend. Well, let's get down this Solemn. Solemn's pretty nice as a thing that we can emerge the Elder Deep Fiend off of. So get down Solemn. Get another land out of the deck. Would have been nice to hit some sort of burn spell there. Maybe we can dig into it with the Dig Through Time. Well, Palantir. They gotta let us draw this time, right? Bottom. There's no way they're milling 3. After taking 12, there's no way. Okay. We find a Twilight Prophet, which will be on. We have achieved the City's Blessing, opponent land, and Sauron. The best mana drain is the one that you end the game with in hand. We're just going to Dig Through Time, see if we can find a way to actually just kill our opponent here. I think we'd rather use our counters to defend our combo than stop Sauron. I guess it might have been smarter to dig before so they don't get the army, but still. Well, Caustic Bronco could theoretically do it. Unholy Annex Ritual Chamber, I guess that's fine. Opponent's only at 9. Ooh, Ninja Blades. Wait, can we win? So if we can get in a hit with Ninja Blades, we win the game, right? So I think this works. So we play Ninja Blades. Oh, wow. This is going to be a sweet kill. So we play Ninja Blades. Ninja Blades, move it over on the Solemn. And now we can emerge the Elder Deep Fiend off of the Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Tap down the blockers. We can sack the Palantir to pay the ward. Wow. Tap it, and whatever. Sack the Palantir, pay the ward. Yes, you get to make an army, but it doesn't make a new creature, it just grows the army. Palantir did its job. 12 damage, several cards drawn, and now Sauron Ward Fodder. And that should do it. The mightiest Solemn attack ever. Tap him down. Solemn, gonna get ya. Hit you to 7. And now we will draw and discard the Shadow Mortality and 15 to the face. And that was a pretty good Solemn. Ninja Blades is sweet. This deck is actually sweet. We'll talk about it in the wrap up. Be right back. So what do we learn this week about the most expensive and jankiest burn deck that I've ever built? And the deck actually kind of works. So we're playing Brawl, so I know it's not a ranked format or whatever, but technically we went 19 and 16 with the deck. So a winning record, 54% win rate. Not that that especially matters in Brawl. The important thing is, the deck was absolutely hilarious, and we got such spectacular and super funny kills with this deck. We had like the Combustible Gear Hulk come down and 22 our opponent. We had Dustborn's Claim doubled up with the Weird Room Panharmonicon burning people out of the game. We got to see Ninja Blades on Solemn Simulacrum to hit our opponent for 20. We just dealt such ridiculous amounts of damage. We also got to see the bad of the deck when we cast a Riddle of Lightning and end up hitting nothing and dealing no damage. We got to see some games where our Dustborn Claim hurt us almost as much as it hurt our opponent. So some really hilarious things happened with the deck. And I gotta say, I just love how this deck plays. If you're just looking to win as much as possible, you probably wouldn't play this deck because there's a lot of effects that your opponent has control of, right? They get to choose with Combustible Gear Hulk. They get to choose with Palantir. So they get to choose with Sin Prodder. So there's a lot of cards that our opponent actually is like, all right, I can just have you draw the cards and I'm not going to take the damage. But it turns out that when no one knows what our deck is doing, a lot of people are like, it's only one counter. I can let him mill to Palantir. And then we have a 10 drop on the top of our deck and our opponent just dies. So the plan actually worked oddly well. We even got to see Vial Smasher pop it off. We got the Mana Drain into Vial Smasher, Shadow of Mortality 15U for the win. It was so fun. So if you just like chaotic effects and burning your opponent in weird ways and crossing your fingers and trusting the magic gods that things are going to go all right, this is a super fun Brawl deck to play. I love playing this deck. I'm probably actually going to finish this deck and go play some more of this deck because it's just super fun to play. But that's the most expensive burn deck ever. It is super janky. It is super weird, but it actually sort of works sometimes, and it's definitely super fun to play. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.